Hello doctors, welcome to Micro Mahasutra. Boys and girls, this is going to be a combined session where we will cover class 11th, class 12th and class 13th. First of all, we will discuss Balantidium coli and Coccidian parasites. Then we will discuss 𝗏𝗏, 𝗵𝗏𝗵𝗵 and 𝗛𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵 Coccidium or Saginata, we'll cover it here. I am Dr. 𝗵𝗺 and I am your microbiology mentor and faculty. Starting with the Balantidium coli, as the name suggests, Balantidium, big one. So B for Balantidium, B for big one. And if you remember, this belongs to protozoa. Okay, so all the features of protozoa are applicable here. My dear friends, just for your information, please keep it in mind that we have created general parasitology video. So please visit the video once to know the parasites very carefully. Okay, coming on to Balantidium coli, B for Balantidium, B for big one. This is the largest protozoa of medical importance. This large ball, this is like this, has got a lot of cilia. So this is a ciliated protozoan. Okay? It has got a lot of cilia. So it is a ciliated protozoan. Okay? Now, if I make a picture like this, wait. Can you identify? Yes, it's a picture of pig. So the natural host in Balantidium coli is pig, whereas humans are accidental host. Okay, humans are accidental host because the natural are the pig. Okay, you got it? Okay. Coming on to the stages, remember it has got trophozoite stage and the cyst stage. In the Balantidium coli, okay, Balantidium, so Balantidium coli, you have got T and C both, so there will be trophozoite as well as cyst. But if we focus on trophozoite, please remember it is going to have a micronucleus, a horseshoe-shaped macronucleus and cilia. Okay, so how is going to be the trophozoite? Having the cilia, having a micronucleus and a horseshoe-shaped macronucleus. So this is the trophozoite. Okay, then trophozoite, please remember, if I just copy this, okay, if I just show you this, this is just like a football, right? So it is going to have a football motility, Balantidium ball, BAL, right? Ball, so football motility. What is the infective stage? I told you Balantidium coli has both T and C, so the infective stage is both T and C. The diagnostic stage is also both T and C. The mode of transmission is fecal-oral route. Okay. What are the clinical feature? It is also responsible for causing the dysentery. So A, B, C, D. B for Balantidium, C for coli, causes dysentery. So stool will have blood, will have mucus, there will be abdominal pain, abdominal cramps. You have to see in microscopy. ELISA PCR can be done. But what is the treatment for Balantidium coli? Remember, Balantidium, big one. So big one or fat one, in Hindi we call it as mota. So M for metronidazole, T for tetracycline. M for metronidazole, T for tetracycline. This is the way to remember. Coming on to the second topic of our class, this is Coccidian parasites. As the name suggests, my dear friends, these are parasites. So because they are parasites, you have to focus on something protozoa. So Coccidian parasite is also a protozoa. So protozoas are the type of parasites only. So there are three types. One is Cryptosporidium, other is Cyclospora, third one is Cystoisospora. Oh my God, how to remember? Pick up the words. Crypto means hidden. You all are Gen Z now, you know what is cryptocurrency, okay? Hidden. Crypto. Sporidium means spores, hidden spores. Okay? So this is the way to remember Cryptosporidium. Cyclospora. cyclic spores. Cystoisospora, iso means similar looking, same type of spores. This is just the way to remember, okay. So, hidden spores means Cryptosporidium, cyclical spores means Cyclospora, Isospora means same spores, okay. Infective form. See, some things are very important. Infective form in Cryptosporidium is a round oocyst with 4 sporozoites. That is because obviously the sporozoite has to be there, okay. So, sporozoite, 4 sporozoite, and crypto, that means a round oocyst is going to be there. Whereas in Cyclospora, the oocyst is a little bigger one, because you know crypt means hidden. So, hidden means they are going to have small oocyst. They are going to have what? Small oocyst, okay. But cycle, obviously cycle is a bigger one. So, they have got a big oocyst. Oh, sorry. Yes, they have got a big oocyst. Okay, you got it? Good. Now, please remember, in addition to that, because it is a cycle, so every cycle has got 2 mirrors. Yes, or you can say cycles have 2 wheels which are covered with a rubber tube. Similarly, this is going to have 2 sporocysts, each with the sporozoites. That means 2 sporocysts, one sporocyst, other sporocyst, each with the sporozoite. So, one sporozoite inside. Coming on to next one, Cystoisospora. Remember, it is oval. Okay, it is oval. So, if you see, if you carefully look at, everything has got only 2 O, Cryptosporidium, Cyclospora. But Cystoisospora has got 3 O. Why? Because 1 O is indicating that it is not round, it is oval. Okay, oval and a bigger O. The biggest O belongs to them. Okay, highest size. Again, 2 sporocysts, each with the sporozoite. What is the definitive host? That is human. What is the mode of transmission? That is fecal-oral route. The clinical feature is again watery diarrhea, but please remember it is very much associated with HIV people. Very much associated with HIV people. HIV people want to keep their identity hidden, so remember crypt identity. So, if somebody asks you which parasite associated with HIV, so crypt one, that is Cryptospora or Cryptosporidium. Okay, just the way to remember, it is just a mnemonic. Okay, yes. Remember in the class where I told you about stains, I told you that Cyclospora is a partial acid fast. Okay, partial acid fast. So, acid fast stain in the stools. Which stain will you use? Acid fast staining. Then Cyclospora is having autofluorescence. Cyclospora will have autofluorescence. Imagine a cycle with autofluorescence. Okay, a shining cycle. Okay, so you can remember by a shining cycle. So, a cycle, Cyclospora, shining cycle, if you can remember, that's it. The other ones are ELISA and PCR. What is the treatment? Remember crypto, Neeta. So, I hope everybody knows Madam Neeta Ambani, right? She is very rich, but she never shows this to, in order to, she never shows this to poor people that she is very rich, and she never demeans them, okay? So, Neeta crypts, she crypts, okay? What? Her richness. So, Cryptosporidium, Neeta, okay? So, nitazoxanide, okay? Whereas others you give 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. So, others C give 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, okay? So, this was the end of the class number, first class of this, first subtopic of this big class. Next we will discuss, this is going to be the third topic, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 nana or the dwarf tapeworm. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, nana, small word, okay, nana, small word. So, that is why called as dwarf tapeworm. Now, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, how to remember? See, some things are very obvious that there is a human who is the definitive host there, okay. But my dear friends, since we are discussing 𝗏 now, we are starting with the cystodes. And you can remember cystodes as sixtodes because their egg is hexaconth egg. What does that mean? For example, this is their egg. This is going to have 6 spikes in them. Okay, 6 spikes in them, that is called as hexaconth eggs. So for all the cystodes, it is called as sixtodes, that means hexaconth egg. So these will also have hexaconth egg in the stool, which is going to be the diagnostic form. This is going to be the infective form also. Clinical feature is the intestinal manifestations. 𝗏 is a dwarf tapeworm, is having a dwarf cycle. 𝗏, a dwarf tapeworm, is having a dwarf cycle. That means there is no intermediate host which is present. Okay. So what is going to happen? Humans are going to eat contaminated food with their own egg inoculation, egg contamination. So one human eats 𝗏, defecates, and the food will be contaminated with this defecation and will be taken up by the other person. Okay. So there is a one thing is one human to other, but he or she, mind you, can eat their own contaminated food as well. So auto infection is also possible with 𝗏. Okay. So drug of choice is 𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗃. For most of the cystodes, the drug of choice is going to be 𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗃. Okay. So with the help of Priyanka Chopra, PC, you can remember that cystodes have 𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗃 as their drug of choice and sixtodes also. Coming to next one, 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗵𝗵 latum or the fish tapeworm. The definitive host is going to be human, but 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵 latum, who is itself a cystode, but this time eggs are there but not the hexaconth eggs. 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵 wants to fill itself. Okay, so the mnemonic says fill the 𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗵 open mouth, and open mouth with a lid. The mouth is open with a lid. Okay. So that's why the eggs are operculated eggs which will be found in the feces. So 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗺 fill the eggs. Okay. Clear? Good. So what happens? Please understand, 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗺 latum is a little important one. So what happens? Please understand, there will be egg which will be hatched in the fresh water. So I am making here fresh water, and there is an egg which is hatched here. Okay. And this egg is called as Coccidium, which is a free swimming egg. Okay. This is a Coccidium which is a free swimming egg of 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗺. So remember C, D. So C for Coccidium, okay, D for 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗺, and then you have got E. E means the egg. So what is going to happen? This egg is going to then taken up by the Cyclops. Cyclops is a aquatic plant. So this aquatic plant is going to take this egg, and this Cyclops will convert this egg into what? Into a larva. Which larva? Larva is called as prosarcoid. Okay. So larva is called as what? Prosarcoid. And after that, this prosarcoid larva will be taken by freshwater fish. Now comes what? Now comes fish. Okay. So now this fish will have prosarcoid larva. Okay. How? Remember, this prosarcoid larva is going to get converted into plerosarcoid larva, and once this prosarcoid larva is getting changed into plerosarcoid larva, this becomes the infective stage for the fish. The prosarcoid larva is getting converted into plerosarcoid larva, which is being taken by the fish. Okay. So after that, if the humans eat and consume this fish, once the humans consume that fish, this plerosarcoid larva which was there in the humans, I am writing it for you, plerosarcoid larva which was there in the humans, okay, in the fish, is the infective form for the humans, and now humans will have the infection. Okay. So this is about the 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗺 latum. So please understand once again, in the fresh water you will have the free floating eggs of 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗺, which will be taken care by Cyclops. Okay. So the mnemonic is C, D, E, F. What is C? C for Cyclops. What is D? D for 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗺 latum. What is E? E for egg. What is F? That is fresh water. And obviously the fish is also going to take it. Okay. Leave G, come to H, H for humans. So after the fish, it is going to be taken by the humans. And please remember what is important in 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗺, that P is important, because P, remember P, and then this I. Okay, I'll zoom in it for you. 𝗲𝗵𝗵. So P, what is P? P for the name of the larva, the prosarcoid larva, the plerosarcoid larva, okay, are going to be I, that is going to be the infective form. Okay. So this is how you are supposed to remember this. I am repeating it for you. Remember, firstly you will have Cyclops, that is a prosarcoid larva. Then you have the second intermediate host, that is the freshwater fish, which will have plerosarcoid larva, which is going to be eaten by the humans, and it is responsible for causing infection. Now what will be the infection? Infection is going to be megaloblastic anemia, that is vitamin B12 deficiency, and since 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗺 is a cystole, the treatment is going to be praziquantel. This is about the 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗺 latum. Okay, so coming on to the last part of today's lecture, that is going to be tinea. So firstly we will discuss about tinea saginata, and then we will discuss about tinea solium. Okay. So obviously saginata means beef, saginata means cattle. Okay. So saginata means beef or cattle, and solium means pork or the pig. Okay. So remember that definitive host is going to be man. They are going to go into intestine. So clinical feature is intestinal teniasis. Since it is a cystode, it is going to lay down the hexacanth eggs. Okay. The intermediate host is going to be cattle. The infective stage, now this is important, the infective stage is going to be 𝗲𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗺. This is important. Please remember 𝗲𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗺 in the cattle muscle, and obviously the source is going to be undercooked beef. The treatment is praziquantel. So how it is going to happen? Let me tell you. The man who is the definitive host, okay, in man there will be sexual reproduction which will happen, and as the result of sexual reproduction, what is going to get produced? There will be production of egg. Which egg? Hexacanth egg. Now this hexacanth egg will be eaten by whom? Will be eaten by cow, and cow's muscle will have it. So when somebody will eat the undercooked beef, they can get the infection of hexacanth eggs, and definitely the infection is going to come, which leads to some intestinal teniasis manifestations like diarrhea, bloating, stomach pain, abdominal cramps, all these things. Okay. And similarly, we have tinea solium. So there's no much difference. The things are same. Definitive host is man, intestinal teniasis, but again the eggs in stools, the host is going to be pig. The larva is going to be Cystoisospora cellulose. Now this is the point of difference. So it is Cystoisospora cellulose in case of, yes, in case of the pork tapeworm. Okay, I think I have missed one point. Yes, I missed this point. So see here, after the formation of eggs, right, it leads to the formation of larva in the cow muscles. So which is the larva which is formed in the cow muscles? Yes, which is the larva? So cow, if it is cow, then it is going to be Cystoisospora bovine. Bovine is for the word used for cattle. Whereas if it is Cystoisospora cellulose, it is referring to what? It is referring to the pig muscle. Okay. The source is going to be the pork meat, and the treatment is praziquantel. So if I just make a small life cycle for you, again, man is the definitive host, is going to yield the egg. After egg, Cystoisospora cellulosae, the larva that is going to go into the pork muscle, and once the man eats the undercooked pork muscle, this leads to the formation of intestinal teneasis. Very important special point, please remember my dear friends, neurocysticercosis is the brain manifestation of tinea. Neurocysticercosis, if the larva, Cysticercus larva is going to the brain, it can cause what? It can cause what? Neurocysticercosis. Now, how it will happen? Because remember, it is going to the brain via the blood. Remember, if it is tinea solium, that means Cysticercus, which one? Cellulosae. Then only it is responsible for causing the neurocysticercosis, whereas the egg of tinea saginata is digested. Okay? In order to just remember, I belong to a Punjabi family. We are Hindus and we consider cow as our goddess, right? So, the cycle of a cow, tinea saginata, the larva, the 𝗲𝗵𝗵𝗵𝗺 is harmless, my dear friends, because cow is goddess to us. Okay? So, it is harmless, it does not cause any harm, but yes, the tinea solium, the pork, if you are eating raw or undercooked, it can cause neurocysticercosis. We have got some pictures. Yes, this is the perfect picture to show you the tinea. I am trying to show you. Yeah, this is the tinea. All right. So, can you see these are a pair of hooks which are around them, and definitely the suckers and hooks are there in the tinea. This is just a life cycle. Let's quickly revise it. Can you see this? The first one, the very first thing is, yeah. So, see here the infective stage, first of all, if they want to tell you so this is going to be the oncospheres. Okay. Simply you can remember that oncosphere is there, that is going to develop the cysticercus. So, cysticercus is the infective stage which is being ingested by the humans, and after that they are going to release it. It is going into the tinea saginata. It has got egg, and this egg is then going into the kettle, and once the egg goes into the kettle, it is going to form that cysticercus, okay, and the cycle is going to continue, right. Adults will be formed in the small intestine because it is the definitive host. So, it is the one which is releasing the eggs, okay, and then these eggs, they are going to form the larva inside the cattle, right. And here also cysticercosis, this is for the tinea solium. So, what is going to happen? The infective or diagnostic stage is egg, right. So, egg or the gravid proglottids, you can say. Then these eggs, again they are going to go to the pig, and in them they are going to change themselves into the cysticercus, right, and then it can enter by causing the cysticercosis, and adults will be seen in the small intestine. This is a perfect example, I mean not the example, but I should say that this is the perfect CT scan or MRI representation, okay. So, for your information, please understand what is this white material inside. This is the scolex or the proglottids, okay, of tinea, which will be seen in the brain. So, this is all about the today's class, and I thank you so much. I hope that the lectures are useful and you are able to revise them, retain them, and keeping in your memories for a longer period of time. Thank you so much for watching.